Hello students, let us start today with a new chapter, electricity. This is chapter 3 of your NCERT physics book. So let us begin with electricity. My first question is, what is electric current? So students, note it down in your copies now. Electric current is defined as the rate of flow of electric charge. I is given by Q upon T. Q is the charge, T is the time. You can say the amount of charge which passes through an area of cross section of a conductor is known as electric current. How much charge passes through an area of cross section of a conductor in unit time? This is what we call as electric current. From this formula, I equal to Q upon T. From this formula, you can also write Q equal to IT. This is the charge which passes through the cross section in time T. Also, if I say this charge is coming from where? This charge is constituted by free electrons of the conductor. The current is carried inside the wire by free electrons. Okay, so the charge of an electron is E equal to 1.6 into 10 power of minus 19 coulomb. This is the charge of an electron and this is of a negative nature. The charge of electron is negative and its value is means the magnitude is 1.6 into 10 power of minus 19 coulomb. Okay, if I say how many electrons will form 1 coulomb of charge? So there is a formula Q equal to Ne. Remember this formula. This will give you number of electrons. So N equal to Q upon E. If I say how many electrons form 1 coulomb of charge, then you write Q equal to 1 coulomb and the value of small e, this is the standard charge of electron. So therefore N equal to 1 upon 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So this gives out N equal to 6.25 into 10 to the power of 18. Remember, this is the number of electrons which will form 1 coulomb of charge. 6.25 into 10 power of 18. So this is the formula for current, Q equal to IT. This is the formula for charge formed by number of electrons. Okay, remember these formulae, these are very important. As I told you, the SI unit of charge is coulomb. This is after the name of the scientist Charles Auguste de Coulomb, and the SI unit of current, for current, the SI unit is ampere after the name of the scientist Andre Marie Ampere. So 1 ampere, if I say, this is equal to 1 coulomb upon 1 second. This is 1 ampere. Or you can say from the formula I equal to Q upon T, from this formula ampere has been made from coulomb upon second. Okay, so this is ampere, the SI unit of electric current. Now you write potential. What is meant by electric potential? So potential is the amount of work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to a point in the electric field. Electric field is formed by a point charge, a charge like this. Suppose this is a positive charge. These are the electric lines of force coming out from this positive charge. So this area around this charge, this will form an electric field of this charge. So in this field, if I have to bring some charge Q naught from infinity to this point, suppose. So what is the work done in bringing this unit positive charge from infinity to this point P in the field? So that work done per unit positive charge is known as electric potential at this point. So V, electric potential, is denoted by V, and this is W upon Q naught. This is the formula. Work done is in joules, and Q, the charge, this charge, the unit of charge is coulomb. So joule per coulomb. This forms the SI unit of electric potential as volt. Volt by the name of the scientist, Alessandro Volta. So this is the SI unit of electric potential. Okay. Now if I ask you, there are 2 points. Suppose P and Q. Any 2 points you can take. Like this you can take A and B. So what is the potential difference between the 2 points? The potential difference between 2 points is equal to amount of work done in displacing a charge between these 2 points. This is known as potential difference. So if I say VA minus VB, field is in this direction, suppose. If you reach the source of field, if you reach the source nearer to the source of the field, the potential will be high. If you are away from the source of the field, the potential will be low. So potential at P is greater than potential at Q. Like that, likewise, VA is greater than VB. Okay. So VA minus VB is equal to amount of work done in bringing the charge from B to A. So this is WBA upon Q naught. This is the formula for potential difference. So students, I hope you have understood potential and potential difference. Okay. And now we come to very important topic, and that is Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? Write it down. This question comes in your board exams. Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the ends of the conductor, provided the physical conditions like temperature, pressure remaining constant. Once again, you listen to the definition of Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that the current flowing through a conductor means flowing through a wire. Suppose these are the 2 points, the ends of the wire. The current flowing through the wire is directly proportional to the potential difference across the ends, provided the temperature remains constant. Or you can say V is proportional to I, same thing. So V equal to Ri. This constant R, which is V upon I, this is known as resistance of the conductor. This is resistance. Okay, and its unit is ohms. This symbol is omega. The resistance unit of resistance is omega. Ohms, we say ohm, and its symbol is omega. So 1 ohm, this is formed by 1 volt upon 1 ampere. This is 1 ohm. Okay. Now this is a very important topic, Ohm's law, and you can have an experimental verification also in the lab of Ohm's law. So let us see the circuit of Ohm's law. How will you connect a circuit in order to demonstrate Ohm's law? So verification. you connect a battery. This is the big plate, the small plate. This is plus, this is minus. You connect an ammeter whose plus is this side. Okay. Then you connect one resistor like this. This is R. And in parallel with the resistor you connect one voltmeter. This is plus side, this is minus side. Like this. And then you connect here one key. Then one rheostat. Like this it goes. Like this. This is RH. So this is key, K, one-way key. How you connect, no? On and off switch. This is battery, this is on and off switch, one-way key. This is rheostat, means variable resistance. The resistance can be changed by moving this sliding contact. This is a slider, this can be moved like this, no? So you can change the resistance, hence you can change the current. This is the resistor, main resistor, okay, of the circuit. This is the voltmeter connected in parallel, and this is the ammeter. Now what you do, for you set the rheostat first of all to the initial point, the starting point, okay. Now switch on this key, see the readings in ammeter and voltmeter. So you can draw one table. Like this. This is serial number. Okay. You see the readings of voltmeter and ammeter, whatever is the reading, okay. You can get R equal to V upon I. Okay. Once again, now what you do, after this taking this reading, for second reading, now you move this sliding contact, means you change the value of current by changing the resistance. Hence once again you note down the readings of ammeter and voltmeter. You will get some readings, okay. So you can find R. This was your second reading. Now you take the third reading. Once again you move this contact like this. Changing the resistance means changing the current. Once again you find out the ammeter reading and voltmeter reading like this. So every time you will see, you can take five readings for that. 5 readings of ammeter, 5 readings of voltmeter. So you can get 5 readings of resistance of the conductor. From this column you will see this will come out to be constant. Same, like suppose this is 1 volt, this is 1 ampere. So this is 1 upon 1 ohms. This is suppose 1.5, this is also 1.5, so once again 1 ohm. This is 2 volt, this is 2 ampere, so once again this is 1 ohm. Like this you will get a constant value of resistance. So that now you can draw one graph between I and V. From this graph you will plot the values of V and I. So like this you will get, and when you will join the points, you will get a straight line which verifies Ohm's law and shows that the potential difference is directly proportional to the current. Means VI graph has to be a straight line. This is how we verify Ohm's law. Means for ohmic conductors the VI graph turns out to be a straight line. This is Ohm's law. Okay, I hope you all have followed this. Now you write the factors on which resistance depends. The factors on which resistance depends. Now resistance of a conductor, it depends upon the length of the conductor. One thing, more is the length of the wire, more is the resistance. Resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Means the thicker is the wire, less is the resistance. If thinner is the wire, more is the resistance. Then apart from these two factors, next is the nature of the material of the conductor, and then temperature. These are the four factors: the length, the area, the nature of the material, and the temperature. Now on combining these two, you can get R is proportional to L upon A, means L into 1 upon A, so L upon A. Okay, removing this proportionality sign, you will get R equal to rho L upon A. This is the formula, where this is the symbol rho, RHO, rho means this is known as resistivity or specific resistance of the conductor. Rho equal to, you find the formula for rho, Ra upon L. Find the unit of rho. What is the unit of resistance? Ohm. What is the unit of A? Meter square. What is the unit of L? Upon meter. This cancels out, so this turns out to be ohm meter. This is the unit of rho, the resistivity. So this is one more very important formula, and definitely you will get one numerical in your board exams from this topic, and this topic is important and will continue like that up to class 12th. Okay, so please take it seriously, this formula and this topic. Okay, now you can take the combination of resistors. Very interesting combination of resistors, combination of resistances, you can say. Interesting topics. First one, series combination or series arrangement. Suppose these are the resistors which are connected. This is how do we connect in series. This is R1, this is R2, this is R3. Suppose these three resistances are connected in series to a potential difference V. So when you connect them in series, then potential difference across each resistor will be different. Okay, so this is V1. Suppose the potential difference across this is V2. The potential difference across this is V3. Okay, and this is the current which is going V. This is the main potential of the battery. This is the battery here actually, which is giving a potential V and providing I, current I in the circuit. So when remember now, the important condition is when the resistors are connected in series, then same current will flow through each resistor. Means the current will not change in the resistors. The current will be same in each resistor, but the potential difference across each resistor will be different. This is the important condition to note. Okay, so potential difference across R1, what is this? This is equal to V1. This is equal to, what is the current? I. So I R1. Like that across R2 and across R3, you find out. So the V2 equal to IR2, V3 equal to IR3. Now suppose I want to replace all these three. I don't want to use these three resistors. In place of these three, I want to use one resistor which can do the same work, across which the potential difference will be V and same current I will flow. Okay. So for a single resistor, V equal to IR. If R is the resistance of that single resistor, suppose I connect like this, this is like this. The same current I is flowing through the resistor R. So V equal to IR. But what was this V? These three things together, they add up equal to V. But V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So IR equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. So you take common. I cancels out. So R equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is the formula for equivalent resistance in case of resistors connected in series. Okay, I hope all have followed. This is very easy. No? Now you take another one, and that is parallel arrangement. Second is parallel arrangement. Now you take like this. You connect three resistors in parallel to a potential difference V. Okay, these are R1, R2, R3. Now what will happen? The current which goes like this will break into three branches. This is I1, I2, I3, like this. Here we will see these three current branches. These currents will combine to form I once again. The circuit is balanced. The potential difference across each branch will remain same while the current will differ. This is the important condition in parallel connection. In parallel connection, the current in each branch is different while the potential difference across each branch remains the same. So, means across this branch is V, across this branch is V, across this branch is V. Potential difference is same. So, current you will find current in R1 is a resistor R1. So, I1 equal to V upon R1. Likewise for R2 and R3, I2 equal to V upon R2, I3 equal to V upon R3. If I want to replace all these three by a single resistor, no, this is R and this current was going like this, I. So what will be the current in the resistor? I equal to V upon R. No, and this I is actually I1 plus I2 plus I3. You will write, but I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. No, for a single resistor, I equal to V upon R. No, so therefore V upon R is equal to V upon R1 plus V upon R2 and plus V upon R3. These V cancel out. Hence 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. This is the formula for the equivalent resistance of the resistors connected in parallel. So students, I hope you have followed all the topics which I have explained today. In my next lecture, I shall take very good numericals on all these topics so that you can master on the solutions, on the techniques of how to solve the numericals. So please be serious, be dedicated and enjoy this chapter of electricity. See you then. Thank you.